That's the fight that everybody want to see. Yeah. I want to do it.
Do you respect him as like when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so.
I understand it, but don't lie or capture the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said they called and we said we never heard nothing else back about it. So right. I mean, I respect it though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be capping on it.
Now the question's sour. You know what I'm saying? Sour.
You think there's anything left for him, coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight 160.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, he looked at excellent.
Is there anybody the most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jaron Ennis going to 160. Possibly Jaron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying in the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
When word spread that Terence "Bud" Crawford and Jaron Boots Ennis were finally heading toward real talks, the entire boxing scene stopped in place. This was no fantasy matchup argued about online. This was the closest the sport had come to delivering the one fight fans demanded ever since Crawford stunned the world by jumping to 168 and taking every title from Canelo Alvarez. Insiders now claim the offer on the table is near $300 million, a figure reserved only for matches that mark a generation and only used when the sport knows the whole world will tune in. Today we break down why this fight is exploding across boxing, how we reached this point, how Boots rose into the fighter many call the next Crawford, and why this clash may be the toughest challenge of Bud's career. When Crawford moved to super middleweight, people said he was risking everything. They said he was too small, too slow, too old. Canelo was the face of the sport, too strong, too proven, too dangerous. Yet Crawford did not just beat him, he controlled every moment, making it look like 168 had been his real home all along.
Crawford did amazing, he a legend, man, 3-time undisputed, you gotta take his hat up to him, he went up 2 weight classes and dominated a legend, so my hat goes up to him and he's all respect.
Do you think Canelo is the same guy that he was before? You think he's completely fallen off?
Canelo's Canelo, you know what I mean? Canelo's a legend, bro. You gotta, at the end of the day, whatever happened that fight, that don't diminish his career, his image. You feel me? I think right now, he's at that time where he took an L, but he ain't take an L, you know what I'm saying? He got paid and he a legend at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So if he want to walk over in the sunset right now, his last name is in the cement, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest Mexican fighters in the world.
I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but Crawford does have all the titles. You're a really big name. He's kind of in your way right now a little bit. Yeah. Is that a fight where you're just like, me and him get it on for sure?
Not for sure. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? We don't duck no smoke. So, right now, I'm focused on my comeback fight, you know what I'm saying? I gotta put my head down, whatever happened my last fight is cool, but that ain't dim my light at all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a superstar, I'm still a star, I'm still the king of New York, man, I'm fly, I look good, I fight good, man. So, I'm excited for next year.
That night Crawford did something almost no one in today's sport pulls off. He shocked the entire world without being the naturally bigger man, without any weight advantage, and without catchweight terms or soft tune-up bouts. He walked in as he was and defeated the division's top fighter clean and outright.
Are those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is it.
After that, it was obvious Crawford had run through everyone. He had already defeated Errol Spence. He had already dismantled the top Mexican star of the era. He had already unified at 140. He had already ruled 147. Then he went up and captured 168. There were no real threats remaining except one name that refused to go away. Jaron Boots Ennis, the unbeaten force who was destroying every opponent put in front of him.
We've got to get him in the fights. We've got to get him undisputed at 47. He can move up. I want to see him fight Terence Crawford. You know, I mean, that's a fight that's been talked about, and Terence will only take that fight if it's big enough. I back Jaron Boots Ennis against anybody. And what a joy to be guiding this man.
This idea is not new. Fans have wanted Crawford against Ennis for years back, when both were at 147. The IBF even ordered the fight in 2023, but it never took place. Some said Crawford was avoiding a young, hungry contender. Crawford said Boots had chances to make the fight and did not take them. When Bud moved up, many believed the moment had passed forever. But then Boots kept getting better. And soon people noticed something. Boots was not just winning. He was starting to resemble Crawford at age 28.
Perfect weight for Boots is 160. I think he could go there now and be in his absolute prime. He'll be tight at 54 tomorrow. People think that when you move up in weight, all of a sudden it's easy. He's massive. He will 100% go to 168 at some point. So right there, you've got a 4-division championship. But I don't want him just to be a 4-division champion. I want him to be undisputed in those, because I think he's the natural progressor to Terence Crawford. I think he's of the same kind of ability as Terence Crawford. And what Crawford's done is amazing, because he was undisputed in 3 weight classes.
Yeah, you gotta prove it in a ring.
Of course you have. It's very well me saying it. But you've got to prove it in a ring. But you've also, people know in boxing. So everyone's always known how good Crawford was. But it took him a long time to get the opportunities to prove it. We've got to make sure that we're not 36, 37, 38 when we're getting those opportunities. Because if Boots can get it at 29, 30, he's going to be around 34, 35. He lives a clean life. Do you know what I mean? I think this guy, I truly believe, I think he could be one of the all-time greats.
Analysts started referring to him as the new Crawford. Promoters brought the matchup back into the conversation. And when Eddie Hearn said there is only one real opponent who can stand on Crawford's level, the debate exploded. Hearn said, "Tell me any fight other than Ennis versus Crawford that you actually want to see." Boots is not past his peak. He is not dealing with injuries. He is not worn out from a long career. He is a decade younger than Crawford. In other words, Hearn was making it clear that if Bud wants a real test, he has to face Boots.
Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. Now, obviously, we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very much in his prime.
Both fighters have been dropping hints for months. Ennis has openly called Crawford the face of boxing after his victory over Canelo. He has also shown respect by saying Bud is one of the greatest fighters ever. At the same time, he has been clear that he believes he is the one who is meant to defeat him.
Stay away from it. And by the way, there's this brother coming up, Molly. His name is Boots Ennis. This brother's special. You don't want to go in the ring against after that beating. Molly, it was so bad. I swear to y'all, I am not exaggerating. Yeah. You know how I got called.
Boots acknowledged that Crawford is the face of boxing today, but his message came with a warning. Enjoy it while it lasts. Meanwhile, Crawford has been a mix of friendly and sharp. He has congratulated Boots after each victory and admitted his talent.
You got Boots Ennis in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test tells it all. He's got the it, but we haven't seen him against any elite fighter. We've never seen him tested. So until then, we just going to keep saying, oh, Boots, 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 until he meet that fighter that's going to test him.
Is that a fight that you would be interested in?
Nah, it just don't make sense right now in my career. Like I said, especially money-wise, don't nobody really know Boots, but I'm looking for bigger and better challenges like Canelo.
You're just looking for the big ones.
Yeah.
The big fish.
Yeah.
Fish fry.
Definitely. Definitely. Them the guys I'm looking for.
But whenever anyone asked if Boots could defeat him, Crawford just smiled and said great things come to those who wait. The message was clear: you are not ready. But the moment Bud beat Canelo, everything shifted. Boots immediately called him out. Promoters started discussing the money. Networks began holding private meetings.
Well, Boots and Crawford, that would be one of the biggest fights in history, man. You know what I mean? When it comes to styles. They both of them had beautiful styles, man. You know what I mean? They both switch. and they both can do it all. You know what I mean? Crawford will fight you. He just showed everybody he'll fight you too. Boots will fight you inside and outside. When you got heart like that, that's what you do. And Crawford does the same thing, so.
And figures like Eddie Hearn, Tim Bradley, and Sean Porter began saying one simple thing. This is the only fight left for Bud. So why are boxing experts and analysts calling Boots the new Crawford? There is a clear reason for it.
Who they are cancel out each other as far as height. You know, they both switch hitters, lift, and everything. All of that cancels out each other. So they are literally the same people pretty much. The only difference is Crawford done been in the big stage against big fighters so many times. And also with age, he didn't beat up his body, so his age is actually good. He got the grown man strength. He not just grown man strength, but he built on top of that. Like look at him at 135. He was a little scrawny dude. He wasn't a big dude. Now look at him. He ripped up everything. He's strong. So sure. I feel like he got everything, all the experience, all the knowledge. So I got to go with Crawford.
Boots is one of the rare fighters who matches Crawford's complete skill set. He can switch from orthodox to southpaw without losing strength. He counters with perfect timing. He lands shots you never expect. He is bigger, younger, has longer reach, and hits hard enough to make anyone careful.
Punches harder. Jaron Boots Ennis or Terence Bud Crawford. Jaron's shots seem to be more thumping and more like a whip where they come out kind of wider. Jaron also twists his whole body behind each shot, gets a lot of leverage. Terence Bud Crawford's shots seem to be shorter and he gets more of that shoulder snap. Terence Bud Crawford's punches are also placed very strategically. He uses his opponent's momentum against them and catches them coming in and has them leaning right into that shoulder shot. Remember, the punch going from point A to point B in the shortest distance is the goal that's trying to be achieved in all fighters. Mike Tyson made that an art. Boots and Bud both have a lot of knockouts, but who do you guys think hits harder between the two of them? Tell me in the comments.
Boots also has something fighters rarely have at 28.
Patience. And this is where the real excitement starts. Crawford is getting older. Boots is reaching his prime. That is the story. Boots represents the next era. Crawford represents the greatest of this era.
He better than Floyd Mayweather?
To me, it's because he challenges himself. So for me, don't get me wrong, Floyd ain't no bad fighter. Floyd is a hell of a sharp fighter, but I ain't gonna say a better fighter. I'm gonna say I just can appreciate it more because he challenges himself. You understand me? Floyd never challenged himself. So if you tell me who I want to see, Floyd or Terence, I want to see Terence, because Terence gonna challenge himself. Floyd may be a better fighter because Floyd is slick and Floyd really can fight. People know I don't underestimate Floyd's boxing ability. Floyd has great boxing ability. Floyd is one of the best ever, but Floyd just never challenged.
Crawford does not need money. He does not need belts. He does not need to prove anything. He has already become undisputed in 3 weight classes. He has already defeated the 2 biggest fighters of his generation. He has already shown the world he is the best. So why fight Boots? One word: legacy. Crawford wants to retire as the undisputed greatest boxer of the modern era. Not just over Canelo or Spence, but over everyone. But when people point out he has never faced a young lion at his peak, it leaves a missing piece. Boots fills that piece perfectly. If Bud beats him, he cements his place. He retires ranked above Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Canelo. According to many fans and analysts, that is why this fight makes perfect sense for him.
Beat this guy, it's an excuse. I beat this guy, he's too young or whatever. So I'm never really gonna give my full respect until afterwards. Yes, it's a lot of people that's changing their narrative. Like, man, y'all watching something great right now, and we not appreciating it. And it's sad to say that we waking up at the tail end of his career. You know, we really didn't realize it until now when he's like doing extraordinary stuff, like going up 2 weight classes to fight the best fighter in that division, the #1 guy that's the face of boxing, you know. And the way that I handled that, people like, oh man, something had to be wrong. Canelo had to be washed, or Canelo just wasn't in it. I see people saying, oh, Turkey paid for Canelo to lose, you know. So I just think, you know, when you that much better than the competition, you know, people not going to give you credit until they sit down and look at it.
Boots is in the perfect position. He is undefeated, young, explosive, and finally getting attention. But he knows he needs a big name. He needs a win that defines his career. If he beats Crawford, he becomes the face of boxing instantly. Not next year, not after a few more fights the very next day. And unlike most challengers, Boots is not after Crawford out of necessity. He genuinely believes he is better. Every great fighter faces a moment when the next generation challenges them. This could be Crawford's moment. The biggest factor is timing. Crawford is 38, Boots is 28.
And, you know, obviously we're here in Philadelphia, Boots Ennis, Eddie, a couple other people, you know, called Boots the natural successor to Terence Crawford, and obviously I know your relationship with him. Do you feel that high on Boots as well, or?
Hell yeah, I think Boots is a hell of a fighter. I don't know about the natural sensation, whatever that is to Terence Crawford. I think Boots is his own fighter, Terence is his own fighter, but I think they both hell of a fighters. I've been around Boots for years, and he's the truth.
And last one for me, I'll let you go. Obviously, everyone's talking about a potential fight, you and Teofimo. Is there any updates to that? I mean, is that something that you are looking towards?
Yeah, that's the fight I want. So, ain't no updates. I don't speak business until the deal is done, so nothing to talk about.
Crawford has been through wars. Boots has never taken serious punishment. Crawford has faced the very best. Boots has beaten strong champions, but not legends. This creates the perfect storm. Crawford brings experience. Boots brings youth. And that combination makes the fight unpredictable. Boots can match Bud's style. Bud can expose Boots' lack of experience. Both can hurt each other. Both can outthink each other. This is not Canelo, whose body was wearing down. This is not Spence coming off a crash. This is a fresh, hungry prime fighter going for the crown. Fans are divided. Half believe Crawford will dominate Boots. The other half think Boots is too big, too fast, too young. Some call it Crawford's last great fight. Others see it as Boots' breakout moment.
Crawford like trouble in there if they were ever to fight?
I think that would be a great fight. You know, the young, hungry lion versus the legend. That would be a hell of a fight. Maybe 160. If it's a vacant title at 160, I think that they can make that happen for sure. I think it just has to make sense for both parties. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think if there's a vacant belt, Crawford's gonna want to be 6th division champion, and then he'll make Ennis move up to 160. I think they could do it at 160.
That's a good fight. That's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. Probably at middleweight or something. That's like a vacant belt. That's definitely up there. That's definitely a big fight. Probably Shakur and Tank too, maybe. That's like right I'm seeing. But yeah, that's that. He might not be lying. That might be the...
Multiple insiders say the negotiations are serious. Boots promoter Eddie Hearn is pushing hard. Netflix wants the fight. Both sides like the money. And Crawford has not refused.
Against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
Boots said this week he will face Bud at any weight he chooses, meaning he is fully committed. Crawford has already told reporters he wants one more massive fight before retiring. If this matchup happens, it will be the biggest American boxing event since Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Only this time both fighters are in their prime. So here is one question for you. Who wins, the legend with perfect timing or the young powerhouse taking over the sport? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Fight Field. I'll see you in the next video.